February 2023, a quiet village in Hong Kong. A gruesome discovery would soon rock the city and the world. Police were called to a rural apartment. Inside, a scene of unimaginable horror awaited. Dismembered body parts were found, scattered, concealed. The victim, Abby Choi, a young and glamorous model. The suspects, her ex-husband's family. The story, a chilling tale of betrayal, greed, and cold-blooded murder. The discovery sent shockwaves through Hong Kong. Abby Choi, known for her style and grace, had vanished days earlier. Now, the gruesome truth of her fate was emerging. The apartment rented by her former father-in-law became a chilling testament to a crime planned with chilling precision. The investigation was just beginning, but one thing was clear: this was no ordinary murder. This was a calculated act of brutality that would leave a city reeling. Abby Choi was a rising star. A model, an influencer, she graced magazine covers. She was a fixture at Paris Fashion Week. Her style was impeccable. Her presence was captivating, but Abby was more than just a beautiful face. She was known for her kindness, her generosity, her warm spirit touched everyone she met. Even after her divorce, Abby continued to support her ex-husband and his family. She helped them financially. She wanted the best for her children. She trusted them. It was this trust, this generosity, that would be so tragically betrayed. Abby Choi had everything to live for: a successful career, a loving family, a bright future. Her life, so full of promise, was cut short in the most horrific way imaginable. The seeds of this tragedy were sown in a property dispute. Abby, ever generous, had purchased a luxury apartment, but she put it in the name of her former father-in-law, a decision she would come to regret. When Abby decided to sell the apartment, tensions flared. Her ex-husband's family, accustomed to a lavish lifestyle, balked at the idea. They feared losing their financial security. Their resentment grew, their greed festered. The family, it seemed, had become accustomed to Abby's financial support. They relied on her. They took advantage of her kindness. Now, faced with the prospect of losing their luxurious lifestyle, they allegedly hatched a sinister plan. A plan to silence Abby forever and keep their grip on the wealth she provided. It was a betrayal of the highest order. A chilling example of how greed can poison even the closest of bonds. The murder of Abby Choi was not a crime of passion. It was a meticulously planned execution. Investigators believe her former father-in-law, a retired police officer, orchestrated the plot. He used his knowledge of police procedures to cover his tracks. He recruited his sons, Alex and Anthony, to help. They lured Abby to the village apartment. They promised to take her to see her children, but it was a lie, a cruel trick. Inside the apartment, a scene of horror awaited. Tools of death were laid out: saws, meat cleavers, everything needed to dispose of a body. The details as they emerged were chilling. The family had planned this. They had prepared for it. They had calculated every move. It was a level of premeditation that sent chills down the spines of even the most seasoned investigators. The family's web of deception was extensive. They went to great lengths to cover their tracks, but their lies would soon unravel. The truth, no matter how horrifying, would find a way to surface. Section 5. The House of Horrors uncovering the gruesome truth. The apartment in the village became a scene of intense investigation. Forensic teams worked tirelessly. They pieced together the evidence, they analyzed bloodstains, they searched for DNA. Every corner of the apartment told a story of unimaginable brutality. In the refrigerator, they found human remains. Soup pots contained pieces of Abby's body. The details, too graphic to fully describe, painted a picture of pure horror. The killers had attempted to erase all evidence, but they had failed. The apartment, now a tomb of secrets, would yield its gruesome truths. The investigation was a race against time. Every piece of evidence was crucial. Every detail could lead them closer to the truth. The pressure was immense. The world was watching. The brutality of the crime shocked even the most hardened investigators. They had seen evil before. But this case was different. This was personal. This was a young woman, a mother, whose life had been stolen in the most horrific way imaginable. Section 6. The net closes in arrests and mounting evidence. The investigation quickly focused on Abby's former in-laws. Her ex-husband, Alex Kwong, was the first to be apprehended. He was caught trying to flee Hong Kong by boat, carrying cash and luxury watches. His attempt to escape only strengthened suspicions. Soon his father, Kwong Kao, was arrested, then his brother, Anthony. Finally, their mother was taken into custody. The family, once a picture of respectability, was now at the center of a murder investigation that had captivated the world. The evidence against the family mounted. DNA evidence linked them to the crime scene. Witnesses came forward with information. The prosecution's case grew stronger by the day. The Kwong family, once living a life of privilege, now faced the full weight of the law. Their alleged crimes, motivated by greed and a shocking disregard for human life, had united a city in outrage. The world watched and waited for justice to be served. Section 7. Unmasking the motives, greed, control, and desperation. The motive for this heinous crime, investigators believe, was a toxic mix of greed, control, and desperation. The Kwong family had grown accustomed to a lavish lifestyle financed by Abby's success. They saw her as a cash cow, someone to exploit. They resented her plans to sell the apartment. They feared losing their grip on her wealth. They were willing to do anything to maintain their lifestyle, even if it meant silencing Abby forever. Their alleged actions revealed a chilling lack of empathy, a disregard for human life that shocked the conscience. How could a family bound by blood commit such an act? The answer, it seemed, lay in the darkest recesses of the human heart. Greed, it is said, is a powerful drug. It can cloud judgment. It can warp one's sense of right and wrong. In this case, it drove a family to commit the unthinkable. Section 8. Justice for Abby. The trial and the search for truth. The trial of Alex Kwong and his family promises to be long and arduous. The prosecution, armed with evidence, will seek to prove their guilt. The defense will challenge the prosecution's case. The courtroom will be a battleground of legal arguments and emotional testimonies. The world will watch as the legal system seeks justice for Abby Choi. The trial is about more than punishment. It is a search for truth. Abby's family and friends seek closure. The city of Hong Kong demands accountability. The eyes of the world will be on the courtroom, hoping justice will prevail. Section 9. Remembering Abby Choi, a legacy of kindness and style. Amidst the horror and the heartbreak, it's important to remember Abby Choi for the extraordinary woman she was. She was a shining light in the fashion world. Her style was iconic, her presence was magnetic, but more than that, she was a kind and generous soul. She was a loving daughter, sister, and friend. She was a devoted mother to her children. Her legacy will live on not just in the fashion world, but in the hearts of all who knew her. Her tragic death reminds us of the fragility of life. It urges us to cherish every moment, to live with kindness, to pursue our passions with vigor. Abby Choi may be gone, but her spirit, her light, will continue to inspire us all. She will be remembered not for how she died, but for how she lived with grace, compassion, and an unwavering zest for life. Section 10. The Ripple Effect. Reflections on a Shocking Crime. Abby Choi's murder sent shockwaves far beyond the world of fashion. It sparked conversations about domestic violence, about the dangers of financial dependence, about the importance of protecting women. The case highlighted the dark side of wealth and privilege. It showed how greed and envy can fester, even in the most affluent of families. The brutality of the crime forced people to confront the uncomfortable reality that evil can lurk in the most unexpected places. The case also raised questions about the role of the media. The relentless coverage, while providing updates on the investigation, also threatened to sensationalize the tragedy. It sparked debates about ethical boundaries and the responsibility of journalists when covering such sensitive cases. In the end, Abby Choi's murder served as a stark reminder of the fragility of life. It forced us to confront our own mortality and to appreciate the preciousness of every moment. Section 11. A World Left Shaken. The Enduring Impact of Abby Choi's Murder. The world will never forget Abby Choi. Her story, a chilling blend of glamour and brutality, will continue to fascinate and horrify. Her murder reminded us that even in a modern city like Hong Kong, darkness can lurk beneath the surface. The case exposed family vulnerabilities and the corrosive power of greed. Abby Choi's legacy will be defined by the vibrancy of her life. She will be remembered for her kindness, generosity, and unwavering spirit. The world may be dimmer without Abby Choi, but her legacy will continue to shine on.